Whare in the Bush is a project that started with 4 women architect graduates. Peter's over there, she's one of the wahine who helped build this 10 metre square cabin, which is sort of the maximum size you're allowed to build without getting building consent. And as architects, we didn't want to have to go through that process. We made it with all salvaged or donated materials, minus $180 worth of things like hinges and 3 bits of wood that we needed a certain size and a little door latch. That was it. So everything else has been sort of out of araha. So people have given us things, or we've found a bit of firewood on the side of the road and made it into what you'll see. So it's set up in Matakana, at my parents' property, right down the bottom of their section by a little wetland there. Let's go through a few pictures. If you've got questions, that's great. I like them. So the environmental side of it, which sort of ties in with the publication, is everything was salvaged or locally sourced. This isn't really a new idea, especially in New Zealand vernacular architecture. Our traditional Māori dwellings, our whares, all made from really local materials. So we wanted to kind of keep that idea in mind. Yeah. Yeah, the flooring was made from pallets. So we just hacked them all up on the side of the road and sort of pieced them together. We had a few sort of feature pieces. A little bit of green wood that mixed in amongst the pallets, but mostly it was all just bits of rubbish. Process, we didn't design it, we just made it as we found the materials. So the first thing we got were these posts that were offcuts from Milwaukee. And we put them in the ground with a bit of rammed earth, so that's sort of minimal impact on the environment. So if we need to, we can pull the building apart or set it afire and it will easily put this in the first place. And then we gathered the pallets, made a floor. We had nothing else ready to go until we found some studs that some kind builder gave us. They're actually really beautiful Lego studs. I feel like I'm a little bit of a criminal using them on that stuff anyway. And yeah, just kind of designed the whare to suit whatever we had. So the stud was that high, we built it that high because that's what we had. And so it was totally different in terms of design process from a normal kind of building. I left a love note on some doors. I used to walk past these doors every day that were just leaning up against a fancy batch out at Omaha. And they sat there for a couple of months, this little Ziploc bag with a love note in it, and then eventually the property manager said, oh yeah, come and pick the doors up. So I got this beautiful set of French doors for nothing. So it was lucky, it kind of formed the whare, which is cool. Yeah, so it took, I think it was 18 build days over the course of 2 years. So pretty epic. Some days there was all of us, all 4 women plus friends and whānau. Some days it was just me down there because I was the one that sort of lived closest to the whare, so I could spend more time there. And for things like the roof, my dad worked from home, so I'd call him on my cell phone and Dad, have you got 5 minutes? Just pop down the hill. And he'd come sort of 15 minutes later and help me lift something heavy. So that was, yeah, it was a bit of a whānau effort. Yeah, the community aspect was really great. I've been really surprised about how many people have been interested in this project. I really didn't expect that. So we've had all sorts of people offer their time, their advice, their materials, and their willingness to put us in a publication, that kind of thing. And it's been really amazing to see how much interest there is surrounding the small building movement and the idea of a whole bunch of rookies building and this kind of practical element. So that's been great.
Ruben, what does the word whare mean?
Oh, whare is the Māori word for house. Yeah. And the title comes from a building that was, what was it, 1905? Do you remember?
It comes from an article
It's in the article.
about the building built in
Read the book.
1950.
And it's based on the name of that dwelling was the Whare in the Bush. So we just sort of pinched that because it was a beautiful building with the same kind of concepts and still.
Can you relate this to vernacular architecture?
Yeah, well, like the notion of this DIY, this New Zealand kind of mentality of using what we have on hand, going ad hoc, going as you can with what you can. I think is a really New Zealand vernacular way of approaching building and design. So this was just a small scale experiment about that, amongst other things. The fact that it's a community build, I think, ties back to the idea of the whare and the sort of the Māori culture around building and construction as well. So that, there's a whole lot of different tie-ins with it. Yeah. There's a swing. A dream, a swing window. Child friendly, which is nice. Yeah. I feel like if you've got any questions, that's great, but it's such a small building, there's only so much you can say about such a tiny place.
What's the connection between the French doors and the love note?
Oh, I left a love note on the French doors because I saw them and I eyed them up and I kept seeing them just sort of going to waste. I wanted them. So I told them that.
Very good.
I have a question. What was your best method of getting the nails out of the pallets without ruining the boards?
Yeah, it's really hard. We had 2 power tools at the site, both battery powered, so they last about an hour, and then we have to run up and charge them up. But when they had the juice, we would whiz. We called it whizzing, not orbital soaring. It was give us the whizzer. I need to whiz some pellets. And so what you do is you whiz up the side, and then you whiz down the other side. So you've got kind of it pivoting on the centre structural bit of the pellet, and then you jimmy it out. And then you whack up the nails. Just a bit of wastage either side, but that's my tip. It's a lot of experimenting with that. End of story. So it's kind of close to other Helens, but you can't really see that. It feels really remote. It's a cool one. That end.